What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on First Republic Bank.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on the price chart and how we get there. Then I will continue with the fundamental news and I will show you how technical this asset is. Even with this harsh movement to the downside, from its swing high to swing low, this asset lost about 26.84% during just after hours trading. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this point and I've told you that this asset had a decent movement to the upside and it hit the range of resistance at $14.51 mark, and with the assumption that we completed all 5 waves, we had to see the retracement deeper than these two swing highs, and as you can see it formed some kind of double top pattern, and because of this less likely that this asset should go higher. But eventually, as you can see, it at the very beginning of last session, it went much higher with an increase in volume. It broke the range of resistance at $14.51. It broke several more resistances that I marked previously on my previous video. And then it had a consolidation phase right around $15.5 mark. And right after the bell, as you can see on after hours trading, they disclosed their earnings report, and I have to say that in general, if you take a look just on the earnings and revenue, they beat an expectations. They filed $1.23 per share in earnings and $1.209 billion in revenue. That beat an expectations by 34.4% and 1.21% respectively. But why in the world they have this harsh sell-off? In my previous video I've told you that they have to have a very promising forecast, but unfortunately they don't have it right now. And let's continue with the fundamental news and let me show you their recent results. So first of all, I want to pay your attention that during last earnings call, during yesterday's earnings report, C executives, CEO of this company didn't answer on any questions or directly related to their company, to his bank basically. And this type of presentation didn't add any value to this company at all. And that is why we also have a harsh movement to the downside. But in general, let me quote you this. First Republic stock slides 7% after deposits sank by more than $70 billion in Q1. And let me quote you this. Deposits of $104.5 billion, missing the $160.6 billion visible alpha consensus, compared with the $176.4 billion at the end of Q4 2022. The total at March 31st, 2023 included $30 billion of time deposits received from 11 large US banks. So even with this add-on of $30 billion, they have quite a substantial lack of deposits, and that is why their forecast is not so good, because they have to borrow money, and the lower deposits they have on their balance sheet, the more expensive these loans will be for them, and the more expensive it will be to maintain these debts. And that is why, in general, for banks we have a strict rule. The less money you have, the more expensive other inflows you might get. And otherwise, if you have enough money on your balance sheet, if you have a lot of money on your own accounts, definitely the next additional money will be less costly for you in the short-term perspective. And this is how banking system works, and definitely with this outflow of $70 billion in Q1, definitely they increased their maintenance price of the upcoming capital, and definitely it reduces its potential profit. So it is what it is. We have to be very cautious with this type of banks, especially right after Silicon Valley Bank collapsed at the very beginning of March. And during this collapse, this bank also lost a substantial amount of its value. As you can see, from this swing high at the very beginning of February, it lost about 90% of its value till the current date. And I have to say that right now this bank becomes very popular among the retail community. As you can see on stocktweets.com website, this ticker symbol is on the first place on watcher section. It is on the second place on the most active section. And it is on the first place on trending section. On top of that, Wall Street Bets community also pushes this bank on the first place. And as you can see, it has 1,366 mentions during last 24 hours, which implies more than 1,000% increase from the previous day. And that is why the upcoming sessions will be very volatile, and that is why we have to be very cautious. Let me show you some forecasts from analysts, and let me show you that according to TipRanks, we have 14 ratings. 2 of them suggest to buy, 11 to hold, and 1 to sell. So a lot of analysts suggest to hold this stock, but the price targets, as you can see, are extremely different. The lower end is at $8 mark, the average price target is $84.38, and the highest price target is $150. And because of this quite harsh forecast, basically not so many people know what do they do. And especially if you take a look on the retail community, we might see quite different opinions. So, and that is why, in my opinion, you have to rely on the technical analysis at this point. And before we dive deep into the technical analysis, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, first of all, let me show you again this latest movement. Let's switch to hourly time frame. And let me show you that this asset barely broke the range of support, first range of support that I mentioned on my previous video. It is $12.5 mark, and the second range of support is at roughly $12 mark. As you can see, we have plenty of weeks from 11.65 all the way up to $12, and that is why the next potential range might be somewhere at this point. And I have to say that right now, right after this harsh movement to the downside, we will not see the immediate bounce. I don't think that we might have the bounce to the upside in the V-shaped correction. And because of this, if you want to enter any of your positions with this asset, just stay cautious. And if you entered your position somewhere here when I've told you to do so, you basically in the neutral territory. You are pretty much again at the same spot where you were previously. And right now I have to say that most likely we will see another leg to the downside that will at least retest this green bar. And what should you do if you want to enter the position with FRC? Definitely, first of all, you should do your own due diligence. And without this, you will not have the bigger picture of the market, and you will not know what will be the next potential step for this bank in particular. And then you have to decide how much money you are willing to lose with this asset. Potentially you are willing to lose with this asset, because its harsh movements and high volatility implies very high risks on this asset. Definitely high risk implies high rewards, but you have to be very careful with your position, because in worst case scenario, if this asset breaks the next range of support, it will land somewhere in between 10.5 and $11 mark, which implies again from our current range about from 15 to 20% of potential losses, and that is why you have to be very cautious. So I think from the technical standpoint that's it for now. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.